Maybe. There we are.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing? The TV's kind of loud. Sorry.
It's
I
not
have
that bad.
I have Hunter here. Whoop. He's watching a movie. And chewing on pen. He's very preoccupied.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Okay. All right, so we are discussing Honey and Spice. Oh, yeah, you have the beautiful book.
Yep.
Woo woo.
Like, literally, so many people I know have rated this 5 stars, and my mom loved this book.
Does she doesn't have like a Goodreads or a Storygraph or anything?
She does have a Goodreads.
Oh, fun. Did she rate it 5 stars?
I think. I don't know if we're friends on Goodreads, actually. But I know that she has one. And she gets behind on logging her books in Goodreads. And I'm like, okay, like, I get it, because me too. But you literally read, like a fraction of what I read. Not trying to do her. Reading a fraction's fine. But I'm like, how are you behind when you read, like, only a couple books a month? Like, I can understand, because I be finishing books sometimes, like, every 2-3 days. So it's like, sometimes it's hard to keep up. But when you finish, like, one a week, I feel like just to log in, she don't even be doing it on her computer like me. Like, I can't, like, if I'm logging a book in Goodreads, I'm doing it on my computer. I'm never doing it on my phone. She's always on the phone.
Yeah. I honestly, my reading has gone down drastically, obviously.
Because you have a whole child.
With the child. But also, yeah, I forget. Like, I finished reading this book Sunday. And I have yet to update it on Goodreads. But
I know, because I checked.
You're like, I wanted to know what you rated it.
I did.
Okay, so this book, we have Kiki. She is in college, and
Yeah, she's in university.
she has a sort of podcast.
It's described as a radio show.
Radio show. Okay, that's what I was thinking podcast or radio show, but called Brown Sugar. And she has a semi relationship with this one guy, but she wants to end it because he is not it at all. He is no, absolutely not. And so he just won't like stop leaving her alone. So to kind of get him to back off, she goes and kisses the new guy at school, Malik, right? Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Malik.
Okay. I thought I knew it.
Oh no, Malachi.
Malachi.
I literally read it and I was like, yeah, Malik. No, it's Malachi, Deja.
Malachi. Okay. M's fine. Yes, and so that kind of starts this whole like fake dating situation, and that's when I really started to get into the book.
Okay, but also about the plot, her radio show is specifically to prevent the women of her college, to prevent them to having messy situationships, and she also basically declared Malachi, like, not calling him by name, but everybody knew exactly who she was talking about. She called him the waste man of Whitewell. Whitewell's the college that she goes to, the university. And so, like, everybody, like, she literally denounces him. Everybody knows exactly who she's talking about. And then she literally kisses him. So then everybody's like freaking out because they're like, why would you denounce him and then kiss him? Like, were you doing that to get us all off of him so you can have him for yourself?
That's what everyone thought. Yeah, everyone was just like, oh, you just wanted us like to get off the trail or whatever so you could have him for yourself. Yeah, that's what everyone thought. But she's like, I wasn't honestly even thinking about that.
Literally, she wasn't.
She's like, I just wanted Zach to leave me alone because Zach is ridiculous.
Okay, so what did you rate it?
4 stars.
Okay.
Yeah. It took me a second to get into it. Like, it wasn't until they started like talking about, you know, fake dating and helping each other on their projects that I really started to get into it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is so controversial because this was also my suggestion. I'm giving it 3 stars.
Ooh. Okay, tell me the situation.
Originally, I was gonna give it 3.5, but the longer I sit on it, the more that I don't like it. So I'm giving it 3 because Kiki to me, literally unsufferable. Like, I could not stand her. Like, literally, she was so annoying. Like, oh my god, like I'm not even a nice person, but like okay, I feel like when I was a teenager, I was very much like Kiki. I feel like I was very much like, oh my god, like I'm so different, and because she literally calls herself an asshole in the book. She's like, yeah, like little do all these guys know, but I'm an asshole, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like you're giving 14 years old. Like I feel like when girls were 14, they were like, oh my god, like I'm just like such an asshole, and I only have like one friend because I'm like so cool and different than all the other girls, and like. I feel like she was giving that energy, but I'm like, you're literally in university, like you're a grown adult. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're not even like a teenager really anymore. So, like, I feel like we should grow out of it. And I feel like a lot of it is a front for like things that she's gone through. But
Yeah.
also, I feel like she low key is like kind of an asshole. She's not just grumpy, like, she can be kind of mean. And
Yeah.
I feel like if you just want to be mean, like, just be mean. But like, it, I feel like blaming it on stuff that you've been through is like not okay. Like from a mental health perspective, like you can't blame your behavior on things that you've experienced. Like if you just want to be an asshole and that's just who you are and you're okay with that, then
Own it.
all means go ahead.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it was like I don't know, it was just giving cringe to me. I don't know. And then also like I don't understand fake dating. Like fake dating doesn't ever make sense to me. Like I never like the only way that I could see fake dating being a thing. One, for like publicity, like actually, like if you're like a celebrity or like an influencer or like trying to make money or something, I'm like, okay, like I get it. And they kind of did that in this book, but
Yeah.
like I feel like the average Joe like would not be doing this like them. Like I feel like you wouldn't do that unless you're big. Or my other thing is like if you're like gay and in the closet, like then I understand. Like,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
but like she just wanted to get this man off her back, so she decided to fake date somebody else. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like if you're such an asshole, just go tell him to fuck off. Like I don't understand.
I just want, like, why did it take so long for Zach? It's Zach, right? That's his name, the
I
bad
don't
guy.
even know. Let me
I
see.
think it is Zach. I think, why did it take so long for him to get his comeuppance? Like, I didn't like how it's like towards the very end of the book and then he got
Yeah,
what was coming to him. I didn't like that at all.
I don't understand fake dating. And like I was telling my mom because as I said, she loves this book. But to me, the only things that I really liked about this book was I liked the radio show and like why she was doing it. Like I liked the purpose of that. And I also like I guess you couldn't tell because I'm guessing you listened to the audiobook, but I was like kind of reading along and it's like a little bit mixed media. Like there are like text messages and stuff. Let me see. See?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that too.
Those are like the only things that I actually was like, oh, like I really, really liked that. But I
Mhm.
didn't hate the book. I just
Yeah,
had a couple things I liked, a couple things I didn't like, and the rest of it felt meh.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I felt like they were both kind of insufferable for the longest time. Like I said, until they did do the fake dating and they started to be real with each other, and then you got to know like the real them. You know, like when Malachi was first introduced, I was like, oh, he's like talking to all these girls. He's just a player, blah blah blah. Like, how are we going to redeem him? You know, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then yes, Kiki was kind of like a pick me girl type of way. And I was like, separated, I didn't like them at all. It wasn't until they got together that I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Mhm.
Um, what else? What else? What else? What
Like
else?
Malachi, I liked him when they got together, but like Kiki, I'm just like I think like pick me's are just like such a pet peeve of mine. Like I just can't. Like I just can't with pick me's. Probably because I used to be a pick me.
Oh,
So I
okay.
see it in myself. I'm like, even looking back, I'm like, wow, like that was really atrocious of me.
Shay's here. Hi, guys,
Okay.
Shay.
But I just even when they got together, like I still couldn't stand her. And Malachi, like I liked him, but like I didn't love him.
Yeah, I didn't either. I really, honestly, like he was better than the other option we had. So it was like choosing the lesser of two evils kind of thing.
Yeah, and like honestly, like I feel like it took a long time to get like the romance going.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Uh huh.
It took a long time to get the romance going, and then even like at the end, they have like an annoying third act breakup.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like we barely had any romance in the book for it being a romance book.
We didn't, honestly. So when that's another thing that I kind of, maybe I'll dock it like a 0.5 because I was like, what, like this. isn't reading like a romance to me. Almost like a women's fiction or something like that.
Yeah, I felt that way too. But most women's fiction is not like college based. Like most of it's like older, like after college. So it felt like women's fictiony, but like not at the same time. And like I was just very confused.
I was thinking like it felt like it was struggling to be what it was. Like it was
Yeah.
trying to be something it wasn't, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's not bad. Oh, thank you. I'm actually
Your
this is
auntie wants to see you. Come over here.
it's a side tangent, but I think I'm gonna go on the journey to start trying to doing my own nails. Not acrylic though. I'm gonna try Gel X because I tried acrylic, it's hard, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to do my own nails because my nail tech, I don't know if y'all know out here, nails are expensive. Even going to the chop shop down the street, you're gonna be paying $100 for some simple nails. Like why?
Uh-huh.
Oh no. So because I did the math and today's the last day of Prime Day, yesterday and today's Prime Day. And so
Yes.
much stuff is on sale. And I was like, I could literally buy all of the stuff for Gel X and buy gel polish to decorate my nails for the same price that I pay for 1 month of nails. And it'll last me multiple months. Anyways.
Definitely like because yeah, it's really freaking expensive. I was planning stuff for my birthday because my birthday is the end of this month, so I took the day off. I was like I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do massage, a facial, I'm gonna get a mani pedi, and then I started adding up all the prices and stuff. I'm like, I'm just getting a massage because that's what I have the credits for. So
literally, like everything is so expensive.
Hunter, he's busy.
Not he's busy.
Things. He's in a cabinet he's not even supposed to be in. But yeah. Someone said they got for $75, and I was like, for a wedding. She's girl, no.
Y'all, I'm not even gonna admit how much these basic nails cost me. I mean, they're not that basic.
I don't think they're basic. They're really pretty.
Yes, I like my nails. That's what I'm saying is I like I don't want to get just like a plain color or like a little French tip. Like that's not who I am.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm really like I have never ever been good at painting nails, like not ever, but I'm gonna learn. Because especially with gel, you can just like wipe it off before you cure it if it looks awful.
Yes.
And just redo it. So anyways, side tangent not related to the book. But honestly, I feel like I don't have that much to say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if it was a book that I really loved, like I could keep like going on and gushing about the things that I love. Like I definitely have those romances. Like, oh my gosh, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I don't know if you read that book. That's my favorite by Abby Jimenez. It's literally my favorite book of the year. I love it. Like it's so good. Like I've read the whole series. I gave the first book and the last book 5 stars, and I gave the middle book 4.5. So overall, it's a 5-star series for me. But the first book, I don't know what it is, but that series, like I telling you, when I was listening to the audiobook and driving, listening to them, I would literally be like giggling. Like I'd be smiling, like giggling. Like I'm literally there kicking my feet. Like I love that. You know what I'm saying? In this book, it was just mediocre-ish. Like it wasn't bad, which is why I'm not giving it like a negative rating. Like I think it was better than it was bad, but I don't think it was good.
I've read better, obviously, but I've read worse because
I've read significantly worse.
Like
I think it definitely is. Like if someone really loves the fake dating trope, I feel like if you like that, then you would love this. But like I'm really not a fake dating girl in general. I just really wanted to read this because so many people I know have given it 5 stars. And my mom literally never rates book 5 stars. Like she'll be like, oh my God, like I love the book so much. Like it was so good. 4 stars. And I'm like, you're not making sense. Like you're not making sense. And her and I also have really different reading tastes. Like I'll give a book 5 stars and she'll give it 3 or 3.5, and she'll give a book 5 stars and I'll give it 3 or 3.5. So I don't know why I trusted her with this, but she failed me.
Yeah, honestly, fake dating doesn't bother me, but it's not one of my favorites. But yes, Hunter. Someone wants to see you.
I feel like I don't hate fake dating, but I don't understand it. Like it never makes sense.
Oops, you dropped it. Whoopsie. Say hi. Yeah.
I love his little teeth.
Waving. He's getting 4 more.
Oh my gosh.
Say hi. Say hi. I preferred fake dating in 90s teen. Right? Like, she's all that.
No. I just feel like, you know what I could see, like, I could enjoy fake dating? Like a royalty romance. Like, I feel like in royalty romances, there's definitely fake dating sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
And, like, I feel like that to me makes sense. Like, I'm like, you are literally a royal and you have to uphold this persona. And so, like, you're doing it for the show. But, like, if you are literally a random person who goes to college, even if you have a podcast, like, I have a YouTube channel. Ain't nobody at my school paying no attention to me. Not one, I promise you. So, like, they don't, I mean, of course, like, some people will probably care, but, like, the majority of people are not, like, it's not gonna make that big of a difference in my life.
Right.
So, like, I don't understand. Like, I get it because well, one thing about Black people is we do be keeping up with each other. So, I could kind of get it because, like, the Black community at my school, like, I be knowing the tea. But, like, I just want to know the tea. Like, I don't actually care, like, what you do. I don't care who you date. I don't care. Like, why? So fake dating doesn't make that much sense to me. Like, why do you think you're so special that you have to do that?
I feel like a lot of tropes, even in movies, a lot of tropes having to do with either high school or college are very, very tropey and 90% not true. And it's just literally made up in movies and books. And I feel like this was kind of one of those things. And when I was reading it, I personally, I felt really old reading it. I'm just like, oh my God, these people are so young. Like,
you know, I didn't feel that because I feel like we're in like a similar era. Yeah. But I did think that she was very immature. Again, like, she was giving pick-me immaturity. But, like, what was going on in her life, I could relate to. But you know what I did feel reading this? Very American.
Yes. Yeah.
But also, I do have this thing. Like, I don't know, maybe Cache can talk about this too. Because sometimes I feel like when I talk about Black people things, like, I'm like, sometimes people don't like it because I'm half white, but sometimes it, like, I feel like this book played a lot heavily into African American culture. Like, it brought up a lot of African American culture, played into a lot of African American culture, which is fine, I think, to appreciate it. But I feel like a lot of specifically like British Black people like take a lot of African American culture and like try to claim it as their own when it's like not. You know, like, it's like someone in Russia claiming something that's German. Like, it's just, even though y'all are both white, like, it's not the same, you know?
That's
so, like,
that's interesting. I
something about that doesn't, like, I don't hate it. Like, I'm not like mad at it, but like, I don't particularly like it because I'm like African American people went through such like a specific thing, and it's like I feel like we have our own thing in America. Like, Black people in America have a lot of their own culture, which has disseminated across. But like, it just be bugging me sometimes.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. I that's interesting to hear you say that. Cache says fake dating makes more sense when you're in your 30s and still not married and you got your 8th wedding to attend.
Okay, yeah. See, even that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a big difference. You see it on Twitter a lot. Okay.
Yeah, especially because also these characters, I think, because they're part of the, what is it? African Caribbean society, and most people who live in Britain, they are like, their parents are usually immigrants from Africa or the Caribbean. Okay. And so like, I'm like, you want to have British culture, you want to have your like African or Caribbean culture, and you want to have African American culture. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, you can't just claim every single culture under the sun because we're all Black. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I can see that.
But I did like that they mentioned Megan Thee Stallion in this book because I'm obsessed with her and she's my goddess. So
I haven't read Ace of Spades. No, I read Ace of Spades.
I read Ace of Spades too, but I don't remember it that much.
Oh, this is so bad. My memory is terrible. Sorry. Motherhood just sucks your memory. I'm sorry. I think I did read Ace of Spades. I think I did. Yeah, they were trying to come for her on Twitter because she was saying the same thing you are. Like, they were like, was slavery okay too? And she's like, yes, but America was a country. Okay, yeah, yes.
Like,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even like, UK and Ireland. Like they're or not the UK, like Britain and Ireland. They're both part of the UK, but they have different things going on. Like they have different cultures. And so like just because you're part of one doesn't mean that you can just claim the other as your own. And I feel like in this book they were doing that a little bit, like claiming some African American specific things as their own things. And I was like,
Okay.
like I feel like you could definitely appreciate it and you could still take part in it, but I
Yeah.
don't like trying to make it seem like, oh, this is just a black thing when it's not. It's an African American thing.
Okay. I see. I can see where you're coming from there.
Yeah. But yeah, people do be coming for people who be saying stuff like that. But I'm like, it low key makes sense though. Like not all white people culture is the same. It's not. Not all Asian culture is the same. So why would we do that with black people?
Yeah.
Like why would we do that to ourselves? That is like just because you're Korean doesn't mean that you can claim Japanese culture. It's not making sense.
Right. That makes sense.
And even like within the African countries and the Caribbean countries, there's a lot of discrepancies between those as well. Like, so. Oh yeah, in the UK, there's a lot more like mixed biracial or interracial couples, I should say.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I never saw that. That's so great that you're bringing that up.
Yeah, it was just something that I noticed. And honestly, like I don't want to get canceled, but I'm not like a fan of British books. Like in general, like especially British thrillers. Like I really like I hate British thrillers. And then this one I did listen to on audiobook, so I feel like it made it even more British.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The narrator like spoke so fast too, because usually I can listen to things on like 2.5. I slowed this down to 1.5.
Yeah. But I feel like it even made it more British. And I don't like British books that much. Like I don't like, you know what I love? British reality TV. It's not like I hate the Brits. I love like the only reality TV show that I watch normally is British reality TV, except I'm gonna start the newest season of Love Island USA because everybody's talking about it. And like I need to be in on what the girlies are talking about. But most like I love British TV, but British books and me just like don't mesh very well. I don't know what it is. It's something that I found.
Yeah. I honestly can't remember the last British book that I read.
I don't know.
The Great Pottery Throwdown. No, I don't
think
watch
it's
reality TV, but never heard of that. But
Me either, actually, but it sounds great.
The Great Pottery Throwdown. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I think I'll rate it 3.5, but obviously Goodreads you round up to 4, but on Storygraph I'll rate it 3.5.
Sometimes I don't even do that though. Like sometimes I will round up or round down depending on how I feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I will round down just cuz it feels more like that. I do want to read The Appeal though.
Than a 4-star.
Yeah. I do want to read The Appeal though, even though it's British.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I do want to read The Appeal, like how Cachet said that was the one she read, even though it's British. But toilets and bird baths, it's so cool. I'm obsessed and convinced I can be a Potter and mother.
No, I did like probably like 1 week of pottery when we had art class in like middle grade, and I'm like, no, never again.
I've heard really good things about it. I have, and I own it, so I'll read it eventually. But what else about this book?
I liked her friend.
Yeah, her friend was cool.
Yeah, her friend was
like if they did, I don't know, I don't think so, but if they did like an addition to this book following the friend's romance, I would debate on reading it.
I was more interested in her friend, and is it Kofi? I think the guy who she was seeing is Kofi, and I was like, they're so cute.
Yeah. You know what I thought was cool though? I guess this is a little bit spoilery, so Cachet, you don't want to hear spoilers.
Spoiler. Hold on, I think I have a banner for spoilers. Spoiler.
But when she went to that convention, that nerdy convention. I did like that part when they went to that nerdy convention, and then she met up with her friend, and they like reconnected. That was
Yes.
cool. And then
Yeah.
like it was so funny how they like made them connect by like when the two boyfriends talked and they realized that they had the same drink order. Like I was like, that is so funny. Like that is hilarious. I did like that whole nerdy convention aspect of the book. That was cool.
Me too. And I love that he like dressed up and went all out.
Yeah.
He's
Like
like,
that is
here,
so
I know you have your costume. Get out here. We're going.
like that was so cool. That was one of my favorite parts of the book.
Hunter.
But even the end of the book, I was like, okay, like why are we doing like I just okay, maybe it's just because I go to a big university, but I could just never see what's happening in this book happening.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of see it because as I said, like in the black people on campus do be keeping up with each other. We have like a lot of our own events, like a ton of them, but like still not everybody's at every event, you know, like
Sure. Yeah.
because there's just so many things going on, like, and there's still like even on campus I feel like I know so many black people, but then every year I'm like, oh my god, like where did you come from? Like there's so many more.
Right. Right. And I don't know. I feel like, especially for university, I feel like it's just so much bigger than high school.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like if this was high school, I could understand.
Right.
But I'm like in university, like do people really care that much about other people? Like where they're having like you know how they had like the Mean Girls clique and how she was calling them like the unfriendly black hotties? I was like, I just feel like that wouldn't happen like of course I see that groups form. Like I see the groups at university, but like I don't care. Like I'm not like me and you are feuding. Like
it definitely seemed more high school.
it did.
Yeah. And I didn't have the traditional college experience. Like I went to like, you know, like a
community college?
Huh?
Community college?
No, not even that. I went to like one of those medical schools, like where you go and get your, you know, like
certification.
Yeah, like I got like an associate's degree. I didn't get a certification, but you know, it was like a medical school like that. And then when I got my 4-year degree, I did it all online. So I never got like the quote unquote cliche university experience. But even then I feel like it wouldn't happen. The things that were happening in this book wouldn't happen in college. It would more happen in high school.
I feel like the only reason that this book did take place in college was because of the content matter of like the situationships and stuff. Like if you just took that element out of like the situationships and like the sexual elements, then I feel like it would be like a high school book.
Yep.
You know what it feels like? Do you know that movie? I don't know if you are a little bit older and it's past your time. You know Radio Rebel? The Disney movie? Oh my gosh. So Radio Rebel is about this girl in high school who has a radio talk show that she puts on her high school and she does it anonymously. And so I'm like, this book is low-key giving the black British version of Radio Rebel in high school. I mean in college.
In college. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll have to look it up because I have Disney Plus. So
it has Debbie Ryan in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She gets clowned a lot from that movie because I don't know if you ever seen that one thing of Debbie Ryan where she's like tucking her hair behind her ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's from Radio Rebel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When Cache said, yeah, even when I was at a smaller university, every black person wasn't at every event, class schedules and jobs. I beefed with girls at smaller schools, but it didn't take up my day.
A 2-year school.
It was a 2-year school, but we had dorms. So yeah, I didn't have a dorm experience. No.
Oh, Dear White People? Yeah, it is kind of giving that. And you know what, too? I could understand, like, in America, I feel like something like this would also be more likely to happen at, like, an HBCU. Because HBCUs tend to be smaller and more close-knit community than bigger PWIs. But they don't have HBCUs in Britain, I don't think.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's a thing there. But at HBCUs, they really just have like a tight-knit culture. Actually, one of my classes that I watched Dear White People in, it was all about race membership and eugenics. And so we had to, in my class with majority white people, with just a couple of black people, we had to interview students who went to HBCUs. So we did a whole project on it. My boyfriend went to a HBCU and a PWI. He went to a HBCU, went to a PWI, and then transferred back to the same HBCU because he's ridiculous. That's why he was in college for 6 years. But I feel like I know a lot of people who went to HBCUs, and I feel like it would be more likely to happen there because Oklahoma State is huge, but the Black community is small and close knit. Yeah, I mean, I could see it because PWI's the Black community is small and close knit, but a lot of Black people at other schools like are doing other extracurriculars. Like they're not just like in the Black community like all the time, 25/8. I don't know. It just didn't seem like the fake dating wasn't realistic. The what was going on wasn't realistic. Like I was just like, what's going on? And then the main character was insufferable. Like if the characters were amazing and phenomenal, like I feel like I could overlook those. Like I'd be like, whatever, like it's cool. Like I love the book anyways. But like because they weren't, I feel like it's bugging me more.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, both types of orgs. Being a Black student in college is like it feels like a political game all the time. Like I feel like I'm always constantly like trying to maneuver everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And HBCUs are a whole nother beast, as I said. They have because homecoming at HBCUs is so big. Like I couldn't imagine. And then also at HBCUs, there's like this thing that I've heard. Yeah, ignore real world inconsistencies when the characters are irky. But homecoming,
yeah, because usually if there's something else to draw you, like you said, Deja, you can ignore the thing that you don't like because you have this other thing that you love. But when everything is kind of meh, and then you have this really annoying character or two.
yeah.
Yeah, it took me a while. It took me a while to get into it.
Well, I restarted the book because I wasn't really listening that well to it because of the British aspect, and we like obviously rescheduled the live show. So I started rereading it literally yesterday. Like I started it at like maybe like afternoon yesterday. Like I finished it in less than 24 hours for sure. But it was fast to read.
Yeah.
But
it took me a week.
It was just I don't know, but I love the cover.
Yeah.
The cover's really pretty.
The cover is really pretty.
Oh, and I love that the name of her radio show is Brown Sugar. There's something about her just eats. Like it really eats down.
Mm-hmm. I love that they gave her a nickname Scotch, like as a Scotch pepper.
The Scotch nickname, the honey and spice, like certain wordplay things in this book were really cool. I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Normally you have your little tabs, Nicole. I'm like, where's Nicole's tabs?
I know. I didn't have a physical copy of this book, and I listened to the audio because I borrowed it from the library. So I didn't have, usually on Kindle, I can like highlight and do notes and stuff too, but I didn't have any of that. I was literally just listening to it.
Yeah.
And then also, like, it's really hard too because when I mostly listen to it, I'm driving, and so I'm trying to like, oh, I got to remember that to write it down so I can talk about like, okay, and then my commute's an hour. Like, yeah, I'm really gonna remember to write that down.
Wait, is it an hour both ways or an hour total?
It's an hour in the afternoon going to pick up Hunter and then going home. It's actually like closer to an hour and a half, but that's because I have to, like, when I pick him up from daycare, I have to go like technically past my house to the daycare and then kind of double back. But getting there in the morning, it only takes me like 25-30 minutes without traffic. If there's an accident, definitely 45 minutes. But
okay, I was just curious.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look at
when I'm trying to like, I was like, okay, I'm driving, but I got to remember this thing to talk about it. I do not remember the thing to talk about it.
Okay, and one thing that I'm noticing interesting about the ratings,
I
always look at the patterns in the ratings, and almost every single person that rated this below a 4-star is Black on my friends. There is Black and white people who both like put it 5 stars, but almost all white people put it 5 stars, maybe 4 stars, and then everybody else who rated it lower were Black for the most part. So I find that interesting.
Yes. I see.
find that interesting.
I'm looking at it too. Mm-hmm.
I'm reading
Yeah.
Cassie's comment. Honestly, I've never read an HBCU romance. I would eat it up, honestly. I would eat it up because, like, in another life, I definitely would have went to an HBCU, but I don't know if I could. Like, to be honest, there's just so much going on there. I don't know if I would have survived. I was gonna say there's like this thing that I've heard at HBCUs from people who I literally know that like there's an expectation to like every time you're on campus to dress like at a 10.
Oh.
And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I
No.
love my little PWI because I be slumming it to class. And they don't be paying no attention. Like, literally, my hair could look raggedy, and they're gonna be like, girl, you look cute. Oh my gosh, yes, Cache, when it comes out, I'm gonna read it. I'm definitely gonna read it.
But yeah, I really don't have anything else to talk about.
Me either. Me either. But I'm trying to think like what subgenre we should do next. We've done fantasy.
We've
We've
done
done
fantasy,
contemporary.
contemporary.
Wait, what's this next quarter? July, August, September? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's terrible because we literally skip the Halloween season. Because if you like, I feel like July, August, September is like too early to do like spooky, like paranormal book, and then October, November, December is like people are probably reading it towards the end by Christmas and not by Halloween. So I'm trying to think what subgenre we should do next. I survived, but I went to an all black high school, so I was like, let me learn how to act around other people. Yeah, it'd be a lot. Even like, oh my gosh, like even with the black people at school on Instagram, like I'm like, why do we have to like why do we take Instagram so seriously, y'all? Like why can't I just post a cutie little picture of like whatever I want? Like why does it have to be like me literally looking like a baddie who just walked off the runway? Like I'm not trying to do that all the time. Like you're gonna barely get posts from me if that's how I gotta look like every time.
It's exhausting.
It's so exhausting. But I feel like black people like do it even more. And I think it's because like there's like obviously preconceived notions that like black people like obviously like don't like how do I articulate it? Like I feel like they don't dress as nice, like they don't present themselves as well. Like even like people with like black hair textures are normally seen just in their natural state as more like unprofessional and like
Yes. Yeah.
not like too like I feel like black people just have a preconceived notion around them that they're not as professional or like as um like dressed up. So I feel like black people try to defy that by like doing everything to a 10 and like
Yeah.
dressing up. Like you should see black people when they go to prom.
Mm-hmm.
They rent limos, they rent G-Wagons, they rent so many things just for pictures. They be having these most like insane dresses. And I'm like, well my prom didn't happen because I literally was in the COVID,
Move it.
but
Yes. Yeah. Ugh, that sucks.
yes, and I'm like, okay, like I get it because we have the trauma and we have the history, but I'm not trying to do that all the time. That's why I literally haven't posted on my Instagram all year.
Yeah. Mostly now, my Instagram is Hunter.
Yeah. it is.
He doesn't have to get dressed up. He's just cute.
Yeah. Well, I do have this idea in my head that I want to get boho knotless braids, which I've never had before. I've only had plain knotless, and I want to get boho knotless when I go to move back to school, because I always get braids right when I move back to school because of like RA training. Like we have to get up early, and I don't feel like doing my hair.
Yeah.
So I always get my hair done right before I move back to school, and I have this idea where I want to put it up like half up, half down on a claw clip, and I want to go to Barnes and Noble and I want to take pictures in there,
Do
and
it.
then I'm gonna post it.
Yes.
So I was just talking about that. I was like, who were these black people? Because nobody I know lives like this, but Florida. Like it's just so crazy.
Yeah, I wonder. We're gonna discuss genres, subgenres, and get book picks. But
Yeah.
July, August, September, you said. So September around we're doing the live show. Okay.
Probably like end of September, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we did fantasy and we did contemporary. There's historical. We can do paranormal, even though if you think that's kind of too close to fantasy.
You know what we could do that I feel like would be good for that time? Suspense.
Oh,
romantic
yeah.
And I don't know many romantic suspenses, so that'd be all you. But I'd be down to read one for room.
Yeah. I will I'll look up some for sure, yeah.
Dressing up like Beauty and the Beast, but the graduating class is failing. Make better choices, people.
Oh, talk about dressing up for prom. It's always Florida.
It is.
Yay! Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to read more romantic suspense, so that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. I personally love romantic suspense. Honestly, when I started reading romance, the first author that I started reading really was Sandra Brown. She writes romantic suspense and some historical, some contemporary. So yeah, romantic suspense is dear to my heart.
We did read Chill Factor, and I think I gave it 3 or 3.5 stars, though.
You did, yeah. There's just a lot. There was a lot of point of views going around, and a lot of the point of views
were the men, the icky men. I remember.
Yes, were the men.
That's what ruined it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to know the inner workings of these sociopaths.
No, literally, like, I'm trying to do better at the romance reading, Cachet said. Honestly, I feel like I've been reading so much romance this year. It's not strange, I should say, but I've just me and horror have been disconnected this year. And last year, my most read genre was horror. So now romance, I still have read more romance now, or more horror now this year than romance. But earlier this year, like a couple months ago, it was romance was winning as number one.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that's all that I have to say.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's all that I have to say too. We will let you know on the social media what the next book pick is and when it's going to be. But thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to my co-host Deja.
Of course. I do the Gen Z heart.
Oh, yes. That's Hunter ran that way because dad is home and now I am chopped liver. So thank you so much, Cachet, for joining us. Everyone watching on the replay, thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.